Hello everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. We are in a beautiful Singapore, and today's topic will be the problems with your tenants if you are renting your apartment or any type of the properties on the other side of the world. So my situation is that I live in Singapore for the past 6 years. In my previous video, I walk you through my journey, how I moved to the Singapore. Please feel free to check it out so you get the full picture. And before I moved to Singapore, I was and I'm still owner of an apartment in Prague. I kept the apartment as my safety net, just in case something will happen, and I will, for whatever reason, will need to leave Singapore. I thought it would be always a good idea to have something what is yours, what in a worst case scenario you can call home. And anyways, it's always nice to get back somewhere, and when you open a door, there's your clothes which you left there last time you were there, and you have some sort of attachment to the property, because that's what I formed. I formed an attachment to the property. It was the very first one that I have purchased. So anyways, that's the reason why I have decided to keep it and to rent it out. Now before I rented out the apartment, I made sure that the apartment is meeting today's requirements when it comes to the heating system. I have completely redone the whole heating system, including the heating units in the whole apartment. Also changed the water heating system. What else did I change? Well, the appliances, washing machine and all of that stuff was no older than 2 years old. So the apartment was in a very, very good condition. The kitchen had a few years in it, but it was very well maintained, because the previous owner that I bought it from, the apartment was 16 years back then. She barely cooked. She was a wife of a soccer player, so obviously they were eating a lot outside. Anyways, I made sure that the apartment is ready, and now the funny parts begin. So I moved out of the apartment without having any tenant over there whatsoever. I just met with the biggest real estate agency in Czech Republic, and which shall remain nameless for now. And I met in person with the lady. She took pictures of the apartment. I told her that I'm leaving next week. I gave her the keys, and I told her that from now on all the communication will be remote, and I need her full collaboration, to help me to rent it out. I don't know how often I will be coming back to Europe, so if the tenant leaves, I need her to, take the keys, put it back on the market, give the keys to the new tenant. So pretty much manage the whole renting situation for me from A to Z. For which, for this service, I of course paid. So the first tenant, the agreement was, according to the papers, that the tenant will remain there for 2 years, which was great. It was a family from South Korea, actually. South Korea, living in Prague. And so I was happy that the renting situation is taken care of for 2 years. Well, 6 months have passed, and I have received an email from my agent saying that the family I don't know, because of the business or whatever, they are considering moving to another city, which means that they will be breaking the lease early. Even though we had contract for 2 years, I could go probably and try to enforce the lease, but I know that it will just end up by the family leaving anyways. The family not paying, starting from a day when they leave. We would need to go to court. It would be just lengthy process. I would never see the money, and I would also risk that if I would cause any problems, to the family, that somebody may just get upset and just damage the apartment a day before they would leave. And I couldn't do anything about it because I live in Singapore, the apartment is on the other side of the world, and the tenants know it. So I politely said thank you very much for letting me know. It's okay that you want to break the lease after 8 months instead of 24 as we agreed. I'll find somebody else. So we started looking for somebody else. I lost about two months of income of rent money, which I was using, to partially cover the mortgage, so that had to go out of the pocket. While we were looking for a new tenant, there were a few applications which we had to reject. I have to say that the agent from the real estate agency which was helping me out, they did a pretty good job because they did some background screening on the people that showed the interest in the apartment, but they still rejected them. For example, there was one young lady which wanted to turn the apartment into joy for money sort of establishment, if you know what I mean. So that's because we were trying to be careful with selecting our tenants. That's why there was a 2 months gap, which I had to cover with my own money. Second tenant that came in was international couple. The gentleman was from Czech Republic, and the lady was from Germany. So international couple. As educated and professional they stayed for 1 year. They stayed for 1 year or one and a half. I don't exactly remember for how long. However, this is where the problems, begin. I found out that as per agreement, the real estate agent was supposed to go and check on the property twice a year to see if the things are in order. They have never done it. When this tenant was leaving the apartment, instead of going there as a real estate agent to check if everything is correct, and then take the key, and then pay back the 2 months deposit, my real estate agent paid all the deposit back without checking on the apartment, and the tenant dropped off the key of the apartment into the mailbox and left. Okay? So then I receive a phone call from my agent informing me, oh, Robert, what happened? Actually, the garage has turned into what you call it. Anyways, they left there an old refrigerator that they brought from somewhere. They left there about 5 or 7 large bags full of trash. The both bathrooms, they looked like you puked over them. The kitchen looked like it was, it hasn't been cleaned for a year and a half, and it was just disgusting. It was just disgusting, and I was heartbroken because I have fixed the apartment, and all the fix-up was finished 2 weeks before I went to Singapore. I myself haven't enjoyed, the apartment with the newest utilities and appreciate all the money that I have spent over there. I have given it out to the tenants, and this is how they appreciate it. So the agent did very, very poor job managing the whole situation. She apologized, and she said that she will go and try to clean the apartment with her husband one weekend, which she did to some extent, and then I was able to find a third tenant for my apartment. I was able to find a tenant myself, so that's the reason why I broke the contract with the agency, because I was just not happy. They were collecting money from me and not doing anything. Just ridiculous. But this is, I want you to just realize that this is what you will be facing if you are having some sort of a business or renting out something, remotely from thousands and thousands of kilometers away. Maybe the situation in your country is different, and the companies that you will make a deal with are more trustworthy. I was trying to go with the biggest real estate agency in Czech Republic, yet the service which I have received was, was less than satisfactory, to say the least. I was not, satisfied at all. I would not recommend this company to anybody, unfortunately, but I don't want to harm anybody. That's why I'm not gonna, say their name. So, anyways. So after the messy couple left, before I found the tenant myself, there was one more tenant. I almost forgot about that one. So it was a couple from Czech Republic, and they stayed in the apartment for approximately, I think, 2 or 3 years, the longest one from them all. And they took the best care of the apartment, I have to say, but they had their perks, as well, and I'll get there in a second. First of all, after they received the apartment, after my agent said that they went there with, after she said that she went there with her husband to clean it up after the messy tenants, the new tenant moved in, and he called me and he told me, like, look, the condition of the apartment is ridiculous. It is just a disaster. It is so dirty that we had to call, actually, external cleaning service to clean everything up. I had to pay for it. Okay, I had to pay for it because I want to keep a good relationship with the tenants. All the issues, that happen, I take responsibility, and there's no point in arguing or explaining because nobody cares. Okay, they come as a new tenants. The apartment was supposed to be clean. I covered it. And I was not in the mood, to have any discussions with the real estate agent, because what am I going to say? Am I going to upset her? Then I will have nobody at all. If you have only one person you can rely on, even though this person is treating you shitty, you have no other choice but to suck it up, and try to make it work. So, mistake on my part. I should probably handle it differently, but it was kind of difficult, to come up with with a new plan or new options when you live, thousands of kilometers away. Very, very difficult to deal with the situation. So they moved in. I had to clean it up, and that's when the fun began. So very shortly after they moved in, they called me. They took pictures. Somebody has broke into the garage again. Thankfully, nothing was stolen because they didn't have any valuables, but they took the fire extinguisher and they sprayed everything with the white soap to potentially cover the tracks in case the cops would come with the dogs or something, So they covered everything with the foam in my garage. So the tenant came up with the idea, look, I have to buy, or, he told me, I will do research. I will send you a pricing proposals to make the iron facing thicker so they cannot break in so easily. And I said, yes, all right. If you want to help out, do the research, be there, manage the contractor when he will come over there, open the door for him, be there while he finishes the work, check the work for him. I'm okay to pay for it. Okay, so that was $1,000 worth of work, right there, just to fix up and make the wall to the garage stronger with the thicker wiring. Then shortly after it, the tenant said that, hey, there's a problem with the heating. When the heating will get turned on or turned off, it makes a loud click in the heating unit, and when I'm asleep, it wakes me up. We sent there another contractor to go check on it. They confirm everything is okay. Yet, the tenant was still complaining that the sound doesn't go away. There was nothing I can do about it, but I still kept it, in the back of my mind. Then the new request came in from the tenant, hey, because people are breaking into the garage, I don't feel safe anymore. The entrance door to your apartment is just a wooden door with a safety lock. I don't feel safe. I need a secure door. Okay, so I bought a soundproof, bulletproof armor door for $5,000. Okay, $5,000, which was installed to his liking, because I was at the point that, hey, if he is willing to stay there for, 4, 6, 8, 10 years, let him have what he wants so that he would stay longer, okay? And this is the impression that I was getting, that he wants to improve the apartment because he's going to stay there longer. So after I changed the door, a new requirement came in. Look, the crisis with the situation with the Russia spiked the prices of the energy. Right now the energy went up 200-300%. I need to be able to control the heating in each room individually, because the way you have set it up right now, one central heating system, it is causing a heat loss, and I would like to install a smart system. Okay, all right, another investment, smart heating system. I was like, all right, if you did the research, you will be there when they install it. I'll be happy to pay for it as long as you are happy and you will stay in the apartment. So I made investments worth of thousands of dollars. And 2 months later, I received an email informing me that they found a property near Prague, and they will be finishing up the house, which is already standing on the property, and they are considering leaving or not breaking the lease, but we were about to do another extension for 2 years, and they said we will extend the stay only by 3 months. Okay, so this was a kick, in the stomach after all the investments. They knew that they are leaving, yet they were sucking the money out of me, and I was, letting them to do so. So then we ended up writing an agreement in such a way that they will not stay there for 3 months, but they can stay there as long as they want, as long as they will give me 3 months notice that they will be leaving out. Of course, they said that they will do their best to give me 3 months notice, but they cannot guarantee. And again, I'm in a situation where even if they would leave from one day to another, I cannot force them to stay there, request the money. The law enforcement is very weak. Everything is on the side of a tenant, not on the landlord. I have no power whatsoever. I will piss them off. I run into risk that they will damage the property. So that's what I was. That was my thinking. What I was dealing with. So, anyways, while they were still staying over there, that's when I was able to find my final last tenant that is staying. That is staying there right now. He actually happens to be my neighbor in the same apartment complex, in Prague. He's renovating his apartment, and he wants to take his time to renovate it properly. He said he's calculating approximately 1.5 years to finish renovating of his apartment, and for that reason he wants to have a comfort, and my apartment meets his requirements, so he would like to rent it out for 1.5 years. So that's the point where I broke the contract with the agency and made a contract on my own with my neighbor, so that he can stay at my place for 1.5 years. Right now I do believe that he will stay exactly there 1.5 years. There's an option for an extension, but I do not believe that he will leave any earlier. He seems to be very very serious and trustworthy person. I know him for years, so I have no reason not to believe it. And the 1.5 years lease or rent will expire in June 2025. And I was thinking, what am I going to do after it? Well, this tenant, which is there today, the first week that he moved in, he went through the whole inventory, what is in the apartment. He tested out every single light switch, every single appliance, and he called out the problems that there are. He replaced all the lights on his, on his own, didn't ask for any money from me. Even the kitchen appliances, which are outdated in my kitchen, he said that, hey, I'm renovating everything from A to Z at my place. I will give you such and such appliance completely free of charge. And those are branded German appliances worth of thousands of dollars. So at the moment, I couldn't be happier with my current tenant. I hope that he will extend a little bit longer past June 2025. But if not, I'm trying to come up with a plan. What am I going to do after he leaves? Because after my experiences with the previous tenants, this apartment is just very close to my heart. I know that the current tenant, after he leaves with his family, they will leave the apartment in A+ condition. A+ condition. And what is funny is, I told him, like, look, my previous tenant was complaining that there's a clicking sound every time the heating unit goes on and off. There might be a problem. If you know how to fix it or get a good company, please get somebody to fix it. I will pay for it. He did the initial review after 1 week, and he called me that everything is okay. There's no problem. Okay, so there's a difference between a tenant and a tenant. And after all the experience with my tenants, I'm kind of tired. And I'm hoping that this tenant will be my last one. I will do what I can to pay off. My goal is 33% of the mortgage early by June 2025. So when I do so, the rent money which I'm collecting will simply be offset by the lower monthly payments for my mortgage, and I will be at the same level as I am right now, because on the top of the rent that I'm collecting, I still need to contribute from my own money every single month to cover the whole mortgage. If I will be able to pay same amount of the money after my tenant leaves and keep the apartment for myself, so that every summer or spring or fall, every time I decide to go to Europe with my family, and I will be able to stay in my own place and I don't have to pay a hotel, and I can come to a place where I don't need to bring everything in my suitcase. I will open a closet and there's my jeans, there's my shirt that I left here, last year. It will feel very special. So I'm already mentally preparing to potentially stop my adventure with renting my apartment remotely, a few thousands kilometers away, and just keep it for myself and for my family, or for my parents, because they live fairly close, couple hours by train, so they could definitely take advantage of the apartment as well if they want to go visit Prague. So that's my thinking, guys. I'm just sharing with you my thinking process. Nothing is written in stone. The priorities can shift. One can plan, but all the planning you are doing potentially can mean nothing on the following day, because certain things will change and all of a sudden you need to reprioritize. But right now my goal is, I think my happiness will be if I will be able to keep the apartment for myself, kick out all the tenants, and be able to enjoy the apartment for maybe 3 to 4 weeks a year just for myself. That's the goal. So thank you very much for listening and staying all the way till the end, to the ones that stay till the end. If you have some similar experiences and your situation is similar, that you are living abroad, you left your property back at home, please let me know. Are you renting it out? Are you keeping it for yourself? Have you paid off the mortgage? Are you paying monthly extra? Are you using tenants to pay the mortgage for you, or you are making enough that you can live where you live while paying for the mortgage for the place in your home country where one day you are planning to return? I would love to hear your feedback, and I will appreciate every single comment that you leave below this video. Thank you very much for watching again. For your support, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.